Good evening, everybody. DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. Okay. So it looks like in the advanced settings, they don't allow you to do vertical anymore. In other words, I can't go this way with it. It has to stay straight up and down. And that sucks. Let me see if I can change it, though. Nope. Doesn't look like there's another way to change it. Wait a minute, what's this rotation? Oh, no, not the wrong one. That's not what we want. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess there's no option for the horizontal versus vertical. So we're going to put you on the stand and we're going to plug this bad boy in. Because now I think vertical. And I got to center the. All right, so I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight in a second here once I get this thing positioned. I can't block your view. That's the one thing I don't want to do. The thing I got to do is plug this thing in. Plug the phone in. Should have done that first. Damn it. Give me a second. Let me try and get this thing plugged in. Oh, for crying out loud. Get out of there. Give me a second here. Plug the damn phone in. There. See how long. The glue lines and a little bit of work to the chin. I gotta open up the anybody on? Hello, hello, hello. So okay, so we know we got to redo the sideburns, and I may even change the hairline just a little bit. I have to see. I have to look at that mask. Since this is the, I guess they're saying it's the. Jesus, come on, man. Anybody out there? Hello, hello, hello. Wow, 11 people are here. What's happening, guys? All right, so I got all the silicone. We're ready to make the master. But I want to touch up a few things that have to be done. Mainly the sideburns. These are not correct. And the hairline's not correct. So, first thing I got to do is break out my one tool that I use the most. And I also want to change this hairline just a touch. This has to come down here like this. So first thing I got to do is get this out of here. This is the glue line for the sideburns, and the shape isn't correct. I have a picture over here to the left of me, but thanks to YouTube's new rules for going live, I can't do horizontal shots. It's got to be straight up and down. So but we'll get it right. We will get this right. One sideburn at a time. Sideburn glue lines. Now, tool. That's a belong in there. This can go back. That can go back. This can stay. This can stay. All these little ones can stay. Definitely my paintbrush is staying. That can go back. There's the one I'm looking for. Just thinking, because I got to work on this lower lip right here. Yeah, let me fill you guys in. Hold on. Make sure your caps lock's on so I can read your text. Thank you for subscribing. Is that FDXXY? What up, man? What's happening, everybody? Yes, it is. This is the flashback mask that I'm doing. I'll give you a real quick spin around with it. This is the flashback. Right now I got to fix these glue lines because they're not correct, and I also want to fix the hairline just a little bit more. And I have to I have to add a little bit more clay right underneath this area here. Just needs to be a little bit more bulgy right on this side. This side's perfect. This side here needs a little bit more fullness right in here. Yeah, so, and then I'll have to texture it again. And then tomorrow I plan on siliconing this. I'll put this, encase this in silicone. See, these sideburns are way off. So what we're doing is we're taking off thank you guys. I hope you guys like what you see so far with this. We are a ways off from, well, we're not that far off. This is, we're at that finish line with this now, believe it or not. just completely removing the glue line that I have here because this is not correct. Yep, this is not correct. We're going to get it right. I don't want to take too much of the texture. I'm not trying to go into here because all this texture is already into the mask or sculpture. I'm just trying to stay right where the glue line is. I'm going to do the other side first since that's the mask that I have shown. I have the copy of it there, but I got to get the hairline done right. We're going to do one side at a time with the hairline. Just trying to keep it smooth. Not going to see this old hairline at all. Put the glasses on so I can read your text. I was working on an H1 stretch sculpt and got upset and punched it. I got a little impatient, but I'm starting over on it. Look, let me tell you something. I feel your pain, and believe me, this is not a lot of people that have never. I don't want to say this is. I don't want to say. I don't know if you've ever sculpted before. And I keep being told that this is one of the hardest sculptures you can do, is to mimic the Michael Myers face. Very, very, very difficult to do. I struggled with this. I mean, I had my old armature, my old clay on here was my Night Creeper, and I took all that off and I stripped it down exactly a month ago. And for a month I put all new clay on this, and I resculpted this, and it took me about a month to knock this guy out. But man, talk about difficult spots, like different, some really hard areas that I had to tackle. I had a dent in here too that I got to fix. All fixed. Now a little bit of smoothing, that'll be perfect. Now, real quick, yeah, if you guys are, if you're a sculptor, and believe me, this ain't easy. Now what I do is I make these long worms of clay. They're very thin. And how I make that is with this little tool right here. This thing's really cool. You put a clump of clay in here, and then you turn it, and then you make these worms of clay. And there's all different size little things that you can get. But here's what I got to do. I got to figure out this hairline before I go and do this. It's tough. There is a taper off of this here, but not so dramatic like this. This is a little too. I kind of just rushed this hairline. I don't know why, but I did, and I shouldn't have. So the first thing I want to do is make sure I have the new hairline in place. I'm doing here, kind of staying with the same, almost the same line. Just bringing it back just a touch further. Okay, so that's going to be the new spot where I put the hairline. And what I'm going to do, take a little bit of this clay, and fill in now. This doesn't have to be perfect because I can just rake that right off of there. I just want to get it inside that hole, get it inside the crack. I'm just pushing that down nice and tight into that hole where the old hairline is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rake it off so it's flush with the head. Try not to mess with this texture on the face. I don't want to retexture this thing. I don't want to spend a lot of time texturing this. But this is the, and I'll show you the logo. I'm going to give you guys a real good look at this thing before I'm done. But I want to get this thing ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to silicone this bad boy. We're going to make a silicone master mold, and then I'm going to do a hard resin casting of this, plastic casting. So if I need to make any more silicone molds, I can. Even bring this ear back just a little bit. It's sticking out a little too far for my liking there. So. Ears are easy. Start messing around with the noses, start messing around with the eye cuts, and start messing around with the jawline and the chin line, man. That can become a nightmare. And yeah, maybe it's all right. All right, so let's fix this hairline. I'll read your comment in a second. I see the thing moving. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Okay. Hold on, let me read your comments. Okay. Step 3. I'm sculpting a lot. Yes. Yeah, you don't realize why the sculpture is so difficult is because there's not a lot of detail. It's very subtle. Everything is extremely subtle when you're sculpting this. You do not want to put hard lines. Now, the original, I'll tell you what really helps you. If you really want to know how good or how, not so much how difficult, you want to really know the secrets to sculpting this, I advise you to buy a life cast. I actually sell the life cast. I'm going to be making plaster life cast of the William Shatner. I have a William Shatner. I made a mold, and I can make you a life cast, and I'll show it to you real quick. Well, when I'm done doing this, let me get this done. Let's focus on one thing at a time here. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm going to go back to that. Remind me that we're going to do the this hairline. When I do this hairline is not where the hair actually goes. The hair goes out in front of it just a little bit. All right, it's just a guideline to follow when you're putting your hair on the sculpture or on the mask. This is embedded into your sculpture. Let me see. Yeah, I like that better too. It looks even better. Okay. Now everybody kind of laughs at this. This has to be here. This little notch, it goes up a little higher than this side. But this, I'm a little disturbed with the way this is coming down. So, you know what? I don't want to mess with that. I want to make sure I see the other side of the hairline first before I go and mess with that side. We're sticking with this side first. Let's work with this side first. Let's work with this side first. I want that depth to be consistent. So, back to this. this is only a guideline for the hair. This isn't any actual. But it's close. And now there's still texturing and stuff to do. So now the first thing I have to ask myself is how straight up and down is that? And how much do I need? I'm going to say about that much. In at right in the middle of the ear. Okay, so we got to go up a little higher. Cut a little bit of that off. Okay. Glue line is very subtle. It's barely sticking out on the surface of this sculpture. I'll have to retexture this area because it got kind of messed up. That's par for the course. A tiny bit too much there. Away. The other thing I want is this tool right here. First I need to get these little buggers off of here. Okay. Now we're going to add little lines and when I smooth all this out, it'll make more sense. Okay. So, that being said, let's throw a little smoothing on here. Just a little smoothing on here. Before I don't smooth anything completely out until I don't do the final smoothing until I get everything where I want it to be. Alright, so this, I'm going to work on this chin real quick just before this clay gets hard. So I melted the clay. I stick it in for like 40 seconds on high on my microwave. But if I do it too long, it turns to liquid, and we don't want that. So 40 seconds is about as long as you want it to go in there for your microwave if you guys are using Monster clay. Monster clay is definitely a wax-based clay. More, got to bring it down here. This is where it was lacking. There wasn't enough clay in here. Sounds like I'm doing a lot to this thing, but I'm really not. I'm not doing a lot to it at all. I just had to make sure that this is bulged out equally like the other side. Where I'm working this, I'm going to have to smooth out a lot more. We're almost to the finish line with this sculpture. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, so let me smooth that out a little bit. I shouldn't really do that without changing the lighting. All right, I'll smooth this out later. I'm going to get this other sideburn in. Nah, maybe I'll do it now. Yeah, let me do this now. I got to get up underneath of that to see this. Am I blocking your view, guys? Yeah. Okay. I feel it. I can feel the wrong. I can feel where it's not supposed to be like that, but I know what I do need. Crazy, man. Yeah, it's too much there. Okay. All right. I see you. I always add a little more than I need, and then I take it back. Dig it. Always take it back. Yeah, Michael Myers is not an easy sculpture, guys. Anybody that tells you it is, they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. And there's one thing I don't like about this. This is too, it's not, there's not a defined line there. There has to be more of a defined line. And that is simply something we could do with this. All right, love you. See you in the morning. This has to be very subtle. Very subtle, guys. This has to come back more. Now we're getting there. Now I just have to fix the imperfections here. Hold on, let me read your text. Getting ahead of the curve here. Who else is having ant problems? I got all kinds of ants in this house that drive me nuts. All right, who we got on here? Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this up again. Hold on, let me. And then I'll fix the. All right, let's see. I work at a haunted house in Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, that's awesome. This year, bringing Jack the Clown. Attack and Chance. I don't know what that. Back and Chance. Is that what you meant? I don't know what that meant. And a Freddy Krueger back. Freddy Krueger's back. Okay, that's cool. At Horror Nights, that should be fun. That should be fun. But let me tell you what I'm doing here. This is a flashback mask. Michael Myers flashback from Halloween Kills. That's what I'm working on here. And I'm trying to get it very refined. This edge in here was not defined enough, so I'm making it more defined. And I had to fix this portion here. This loop tool is not cutting it because very, very subtle, very subtle. Everything you do with Michael Myers is very subtle. Getting it smooth is a lot of work. Getting all the you don't want it to look like a clay sculpture. It has to look like a real face. You don't want any hard edges. And when I'm telling you, I'm taking off slivers of clay. Slivers. Just to get it shaped. Now, let me feel this. Because it's hiding in the light, and I've got to get this light lower just so I can get that section done. All right. Up you go. There we go. Now I can see underneath that chin better. I'm going to get this smoothed out nicely. When I was pulling that clay down this way, it really kind of wrapped around this bottom. And we don't want any indications of any clay not blending in. You want it blended really nice. You don't want any lines. I can see a ridge there, but that's nothing. I can just yes. All right. Now we're talking. All right. On to the other sideburn. Let me take a look in here real quick. This doesn't look quite right in here. Yeah, whenever you do these sculptures, you got to look at it from every angle with every different type of light you can find. There's a little bit of a bump there. I don't want that there. Gone. Oh no, it ain't. Now it's. Yeah, that's on the right angle now. That looks good. That looks good. That gets a lot of texturing on that. Okay, now we got to fix this hairline. Because this doesn't look too right to me. Hold on. I need to look up. I need to stand up here. Right on the top of it. Hold on. Okay, now this is going to look a lot better. Oh, may not be. Hold on. All right. I just have to come down with it, that's all, because it looks like it's going up too much. I just have to come down with it. Okay. All right, come on, dopey. Give me a second, guys. close this in. I'm going to make this even thinner so it's not as hard. All right, let me read your comments, guys, while I'm kind of rolling this in my finger. I want that really thin. I don't want it real thick. All right, let's read off. Okay, let's go back up. I'm currently using wet clay. I could tell you, I can't read your damn name. It's driving me nuts. Sup 3 Gem, I guess that's what I'm just going to say Sup 3. Sup 3, that's your name. Sup 3, wet clay is perfect for anything, as long as you're fast. You got to be a fast sculptor with wet clay. What I love about wax-based clays or any kind of oil-based clays is you can walk away and you can come back to it, especially when you get frustrated. We were just talking about that. You get frustrated, you walk away. Even if you need to take a couple days off or a week off or a month off, you walk away and you can always come back to it because it doesn't ever go bad. It doesn't get hard. Now, I have noticed over a 2-year period, if your monster clay is on there for like 2 years, new clay won't stick to the old clay. You have to remelt all your clays, so that's a pain in the ass. But I mean, 2 years, that's a long time. So that being said, let's just put this in here like that. All right, let me read some more. Finger in this one here, trying to get this one. Okay. Jack the Clown, read that already, and Freddy Krueger back. How long will this take to complete? Well, actually, we are at the finish line. We're done. We just have to fix the sideburns and the hairline a little bit better to make the hairline look better, and then we're probably on our way to completion with this. I just have to texture it, and then I'm probably going to silicone this tomorrow, and then once I have a hollow casting in clay of this, then I'll do a stone version of it. And pretty much we're not that far away from finish line here. We're really not. All right, now we just put the line in there. Okay. Now, smooth this guy out a little bit. You know, what's so cool about this is it only took me a month to sculpt this, which I'm kind of blown away. I really thought it was going to be a lot longer getting this flashback. But I've been working on Michael Myers now for 3 years, you know, on different sculpts, and I've really got to learn the ins and outs of doing a Michael Myers head shape, the whole 9 yards. You have to really. You have to have him down, that's for sure. You have to have a lot of practicing with this guy to be really accurate with him. That and look at a lot of pictures, man. A lot of pictures. You gotta have them pictures. I'll give you a good view of this thing once I get everything where it needs to be. Okay. The rest of that will come out with texturing. But now we got to put the sideburn in, and I got to drop the other picture up. I got to grab that other picture, which is right behind this picture that I have. Yeah, I think I got that hairline right, believe it or not. Yeah, that hairline looks good. Needs to be slanted a little more. Yeah, the hairline, a little bit slanted, but you know, I could actually leave that alone. Because the hair actually comes out in front of the line. But you know, I'm not settling for less than perfect. How's that? I just think that this is still too high up in this area. A little bit better. Look at that a little bit better. Yeah, it's still too high. It's still too high. that's more accurate. Okay. That looks a lot better. But now I gotta rake it and then fill it. Rake it and fill it. Let's check it out. All right, so we'll warm up air, and then we're going to do the hair. And what it does is it goes straight down, and then it has a little hook at the top of the ear, and it hooks in, and then kind of comes down right to the middle of this ear clef, I call it. Filling in that little void. We are so close to the finish line. Tomorrow I start siliconing this bad boy. It's done. It's done. I just have to texture it. Make sure I get the texturing all smoothed out perfectly. There's clay off this thing. The texturing part is actually pretty easy. I know I have to texture where I was working, so that ain't gonna be no big deal. Yeah, it feels right. That feels right. look like a dent, and it's not. Just, I guess it's a shadow. Oh yeah, that looks good. Alright, now I got the hairline right. Now that I got the hairline right, let's smooth it out a little bit. Not with that, obviously. Get the boogers off, and I got to read your comment. I just saw it pop up. Is that London Moore? Are you on? No, Della. How are we doing, Della? Okay, we are. We are working on the flashback sculpture, and we are almost at the finish line. Why does that look not quite right? I think I got too much clay on there still. Too bulged out here. Gotta do this the right way. I'm gonna be screwed. Get a little better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Everybody's got their ways of doing things. I've got mine, you got yours. Now this is, the rest of this will be smoothed out with wood. Now let's get that sideburn in there. That's what we've been waiting on. Okay, so we go straight up and down here. As soon as I get to the ear, a little hook. is how that sideburn is supposed to go, right there. According to the flashback mask. So now we bring this down some. Oops. Took too much off there. So one problem is you really can't feel this. When you take too much off, it's real easy to do because I'm using real thin pieces of clay here. Remember, the glue line is very subtle. Everything on this sculpture is very subtle. Very subtle. That is the magic of Michael Myers. Everything's subtle. Alright, so let me take my little rake. We put these little lines in this where the hair usually goes. So I'm doing, I'm putting these little lines in where the hair usually is stuck into the glue. But it looks severe now. It won't look that severe once I brush this out. It'll be barely noticeable, those lines, but they're there from the hair being in the glue. Read your comments as soon as I get off of this. As soon as I get off of this, I'm going to read your comments. So give me a second here. Perfect. Okay. So now it's time to texture. You're done sculpting. I'm going to double check and triple check everything first. I don't know though, I'm thinking about taking back that ear a little bit. Yeah, this ear is sticking out too far. Alright, so no big deal. I have to work on the top of the ear, not the whole ear. Now I'll turn it on the side so you can see what I did to fix this ear. Why I'm looking at it this way is I'm making sure these ears are almost identical, the way they're sticking out at the top. So I raked this down just a touch, right on the top, as you can see. This part right here needed to come down more. And now I'm just going to round it back out. What I'm doing there is I'm just moving this clay. Try not to disturb too much on the inside of the ear. I just had to take a touch of that ear down. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling from from inside the ear and up, and then pulling down from the top, just to try to bring this ear in nicely. Sometimes working with your fingers is a hell of a lot better. It gives you a better feel. And the ear looks a little thinner now at the top too, so it looks a little better, I think. That's a lot better. Now we texture it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yes, it does. Okay. Bingo. All right, now, texturing. I'm going to start changing my method in a few, probably on the next sculpture. I'm going to get away from using naphtha and start using a tiny blowtorch. Let me read your comments, guys. It's just the computer's on one side. Let me just clean this clay up real quick. And I'm going to read all your comments and answer any questions before I get moving with this naphtha. Okay, let's read it. Let's read them and weep. Pipe Master, you, man. All right, so I did. We've got the hair, we got it right compared to what that was on the other side. I changed the hairline a little bit. I did fix this underneath this bulge here. I'm still working on that a little bit. But I'm at the point of texturing now. I've got everything kind of smoothed out. If it looks a little lumpy, I'll still fix that. But tomorrow I plan on having this ready for the mold. I'm going to start making the silicone master copy. I'll show you guys all the silicone and everything. so first thing I'm going to do is get inside of here. And that was giving me problems. And then up in here, gotta get that ear now because I changed it. I fixed that ear a little bit better. It was sticking out too far. I'm going to get inside of here. Have to texture it, that's for sure. No changes, no big changes. Takeoff vision, I thought I was done too, but I changed a few things, just a few things. Nothing massive. I had to change the hair, these were not correct. It comes straight down, and then it kind of has this little hook at the top of the ear, and then goes into the ear cleft. I call it the ear cleft. But I'm just wetting the areas where I'm going to retexture a little bit. Smoothing that out real nice. Let's get this side. This ear was sticking out too far right up in this area, so I cut the very top of the ear down. That's all I did. Nothing else. Didn't change it. And made the ear a little thinner because it didn't look quite right. All right, so what we need now is my texturing sponge. It's kind of buried in here. We got two different textures. All right, we got two different textures. We got this texturing sponge. Let me show you. This one here, I do the face. This rough one, I do the top of the head. I do the face, the ears, all that has to be done with this. Very little naphtha on it. Here's we'll get the texture with this. This will look a lot different. When I have it all textured. I fixed the little dent that was up there in the nose. I fixed that. That's good. This is going to be a nice mask, guys. I'm telling you, if you're looking to purchase this, get on it quick, especially if you want it for Halloween. I'm going to start production on this thing probably in the next 2 weeks. That's how fast this might be done. I have to make a small version. I already have one sold a couple giveaways to these guys. You guys that are on here. But I want you to bear with me. I want to try and sell a few of these so I can afford to give those. I promise you, I'm not a man to go back on my word. I will definitely give you your masks. Everybody that I promised a mask gets a mask. They've been on here, but I need to sell a few to be able to afford it, to be able to give you your, to be able to give away the masks. So bear with me, guys. Just gotta roll with the punches. I'm selling this mask for $450, and that doesn't include. I'm thinking if you're in the States, it'll include shipping. All right. But if you're out of the States, then shipping won't be included. Then you'll have to pay for shipping. It'll be $450 plus tax. I'm a legitimate business. I have to charge tax. This is a legitimate business. This is Custom Corpses LLC. Uncle Sam's got to get his cut, and I figured out what it is on $450. It's $27 tax. In case you're wondering, $27 tax on $450. Yeah, that bulged out perfect now. It's right where it needs to be. All right, now I'm going to do the top of the head. This is textured out with that one. Now, I noticed something with the screen used mask. It's rough texture right behind the glue line. And I'll show you what I mean. Squeeze that damn nuts out of there. I don't want the nuts to run them down. On the top of the head, wherever there's hair, I'm making it really rough. It's a thick texture. And I'm making it really rough. This way the glue really grabs to the top of the head for the hairing when I go to hair this bad boy. You can see the texture difference. I'm putting that rough texture right behind this glue line too, because it's you can see it in the screen used mask. And then I'll put the right lighting on this so you guys can see this better. And how come, hold on, this doesn't look textured enough right in here. Maybe I missed it, I don't know. Looks a little too shiny. there. We have got a finished Custom Corpses Flash FB, and I'll show you guys the logo. Hold on, let me put these tools away real quick. Let's put the texture stuff back in where it belongs, into the naphtha. Yeah, I'm going to get away from doing naphtha altogether, and I'm going to get a blowtorch. That'll soften the clay as well. Okay. So tools back in. Tools back in. This is done. Wrong side. Gotta see that hoop. Thank you guys. Now I'm going to read all your text. Now that we're done, I'm going to put this in better lighting so you guys can actually see. You see, like, you don't really see a lot of the features, all right, because it's so subtle. They have to be very subtle. If you guys are trying to tackle a Michael Myers mask, the secret is it's not the paint job. It's the subtlety that you do. Hold on. It's a very subtle, and I'm no expert, believe me, I'm no expert. I've only been sculpting for 3 years, guys, in clay. I've whittled. But I've never sculpted. Alright, so what we need it to come out in front a little bit so you can see the features. You got to be able to see the features. Okay. Now I'll put you in front of this. Just trying to get the right lighting on it so you can see the shadowing and everything on the sides of the head. That's why I cut that ear back on the top of the ear, right up here. Look at the top of that side and look at that side now. They look very equal. Take off vision. Yeah, it's screen used. Now see, I got the lip. The bottom of the lip here is now looking right. It was sunk in just too far. Now that looks good. The bottom of the lip. Yeah, this is going to be a really nice mask. If you guys are looking to purchase this thing, man, jump on it. I'm looking at it's $450 plus tax. I figured it's $27 tax. All right. I'm going to try to do free shipping to anybody in the United States. If you're outside of the United States, I have to charge shipping because to send it to Germany, we figured out it was $70 to take it to send it to Germany. So if you guys are elsewhere. Pipe Master, I'm sorry, I just saw that you're on here. Pipe Master 84. What were you doing to the ear? I just had to lower. All right, see the top of the ear here? All right, it was sticking out at the very top, too far out, and it wasn't matching up to this side. It looked really weird on this side, so I fixed the top of the ear. Didn't do anything else to that ear except for the top, and then rounded out the top and actually made it look more. It looked real. It looked better because it actually thinned out the top of the ear, and it matches the other side now. So we are there, man. We have got ourselves a hell of a sculpture here, I think. This is This is going to be the flashback. Um, and oh, and I got to show you the sculpture in the back. Those of you guys are new and you've never seen my videos here. My logo is on the back of the sculpture. Um, and that, see, there's a good profile for you. Let me make sure you guys can see the profile. Not a bad profile, would you think, right, guys? Not bad. Just trying to turn it a little bit more. Good profile. And then here's my company name, Custom Corpses. And this is called the FB78. That's my my company name. It's pretty cool. It's custom. The double O's are monster eyes. The guy designed that for me. It was really good. And I did my own carving out the letters and everything. But I cheated. I actually printed out this on paper and then stuck it to the head and then just jabbed it out. The blood I did, that was pretty cool. That was just an added effect. And I textured the inside of the lettering to give it a really cool texture on the inside of the. But the hair, the last row of hair goes right here, right above the custom corpses. All right, this is the seam line that gets cut. This is the little nipple, so it doesn't continue to tear. That's why you put them in there. And yeah, this is going to produce a 24-inch mask, and a 26-inch mask. So if you got a big head, you'll have to get the 26. If you got a small head, it'll be 24. That's going to be the 24-inch mask is equivalent to the 2018 mask. This is what this will be shrunk down to right here. This is the 2018. This is all rotted out and everything. So I took all the paint off of this. That's why you're seeing it, and turned yellow and hardened up. This latex is not good at all that they used on these masks. But anyway, yeah, this will be the actual size. This will be the small version because this is 24 inches. This is a 24-inch head here. That's a 24-inch mask. And that'll be what you'll get from here, or you'll get the one size from the, once this is mastered. This will become a 20, you'll get 24 or 26-inch mask. And I'm almost sure this ends mask, I'm almost sure that this is a 26-inch mask. I have to measure it again, but I'm almost sure that this is a 26-inch mask, this ends mask. That's a big, big mask. So this, my sculpture is going to give you one about this size of the ends, and then one size is going to be the size of the 2018. Let me measure that real quick, just for giggles. I want to see what that measurement is on that mask, because I'm hoping it's closer to 26 than it is to 25. Well, it has to be. Well, not necessarily, no, because it's two different sculpts. It's two different sculptures. Hold on, let me measure this real quick. I'm just dying to see what the measurement is on this. I'm right, it's 26-inch mask. Let me double check again. Yep, it's 26-inch. Yes, sir. All right, I'm happy. Because a large will fit, a 26-inch mask at large will fit anybody that's got a big head. Um, if you ever put on an ends mask, that's how big the large will be on this. So you got to know which size you need. Um, now I'll show you the stuff that I bought. Now I'll give you some side views and everything of the sculpture. I'm going to take this off the stand. All right. There you go. Let's back up. Or what? I know I'll do it. And I'm going to read your comments once I care. Get this thing out of my hands. But this is the finished. It's all finished, guys. The hairline's in place. This is all done. This is the Night Creeper FB 78. Night Creeper FB 78. All finished up. Ready for silicone. Okay, takeoff vision. Hold on. Let me back up here, guys. Pipe master, in case I didn't show you, that's the ear. I had to fix that top ear. I just cut off here on this side right here. So I took the top part and brought it down and slanted it in. Okay. So, let me show you guys what I went out and purchased. I've got my plasti paste right here for the hard outer shell. I've got Rebound 25, bought 2 new one of those. I got an extra Rebound 25 here. I also have another Rebound over there. So if I need any extra, I might be able to knock out both of these with the silicone that I have here. Plus, I bought Smooth On the hard plastic resin. This is what I'm going to be making from my sculpture over there. Once I get the sculpture, I'm going to be making this hard shell. This is a silicone inside shell, and this outside shell is that other plasti paste that I was talking about. Now what I do is I make the master, all right, out of silicone, and I slush cast clay in here. Then I touch it up. Once I pull the clay out of the silicone master, I touch it up and it gives me a hollow casting of, this is hollow right here. And that's slush cast inside of this. This is where it came from, right out of here. That came out of here. And I had to touch it up a little bit, but once it's touched up and it's all done, then what I do is I have that clay, and then I'll put stone over that whole thing, and there won't be any seam. All right, and once I have a seamless, there won't be any seam going up over the top of the center of the head or behind the ear or down the side of the neck. It's seamless. And then what I'll do is I'll pull that out of the clay. So I have that. I have to order the paints. Takeoff vision. I'm going to be ordering them this week. Because I'm a ways off from getting anything painted yet. I have to make the two. I have to make the silicone mold. All right, and do the hard casting. Then I do a clay pull from it. Then I'll make a stone, and that's what that is, stone down here, right? I'll make a stone master mold of the clay hollow casting. All right, and then what I do is I foam fill the very first cast of it, and then I make a smaller version. So I'm a little ways off, probably like a month, not quite a month. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes. It just, you just got to get through this process of making the molds now. The sculpting part of it is done. This is the Night Creeper. This guy is done. He's really cool. I mean, this has got a really cool look to it. The Night Creeper's got a very evil, almost like I'll tell you what it looks like to me. It looks a lot like the poster art of Halloween 4 and 5. That's what this is. But it also has touches of like other versions of this mask too. It just really has attitude. A lot of people love it. Some people don't, but they don't have to. Every to each his own. But that'll be the Night Creeper 78 that's behind me. We're doing the flashback. That's priority. Flashbacks first. Okay, let me read some. All right, let's read some. Let me back up. Read some comments. Stretch sculpt. Okay, I read that. I'm subscribed a lot. Yes. Was hardest is the Myers. Christopher Nelson's even said it was the hardest for him. It's not an easy sculpture. I'm telling you, the sub 3. Don't get frustrated. I'm not. If you're not real good with sculpting, don't use wet clay. Not when you're talking about doing a sculpture like this. My recommendation is definitely to stick with monster clay or Chavant. You can get a Chavant clay that's basically the same thing. It's a wax-based clay, waxed or oil-based. You want something that will hold up over time, so you can walk away, come back. When you get frustrated, you walk away. How many times have you guys watched me walk away from this thing? Well, okay, so Bradley, the Freddy Krueger is back. Yes, I read all your stuff. Rahul, Sanja, how long will this take to complete? It's done. It's Alexandro Rubio. Good job, master. Thank you, buddy. Della, message reject. I guess she took the message down. Yo, pipe master. Yo, take off vision. Thought you were done. I was almost done. I'm never quite done. Now I am done now. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm going to use a hand torch to melt the clay to give it that smooth look. It smooths it out real easy when you use the torch, but it's Kenner, awesome work, dude. Thank you, buddy. Take off vision. Damn, it's screen used. Take off vision. Your buddy's mask looks pretty good, man. It's right on the money. He's still working on it, as I can see. So yeah, that's pretty good. Awesome. Good work. Good workmanship. It's like I said, Michael Myers' mask is not an easy sculpture to do. Not at all. It really isn't. Very difficult to master. Why is that sitting and spinning on my... You guys still see me or no? Why is this cutting off? You guys still with me? It says I'm live. Looks like it's frozen. See over there? See the wheel of death? It's just spinning on my... I don't know if you guys are getting the same problem, but it might be just on my end. So we have the flashback done. The FB78 is finished. It's ready for molding. I'm going to actually silicone this, and then we will, I'll zoom in so you guys can see the texture. Oh, it's vibrating too much. The bubbles in the corner, the lips look nice. Below the chin line is real nice. Yeah, the eyebrows are banging. They're really close. The scowl is on it. The scowl looks really, really close to the screen used mask. You know, you guys tell me. You guys are bigger critics than I am, so what do you think? Hold on, let me zoom back out because that's annoying as all hell. I do think it's there's no such thing as perfect. You know, if I could find, it's as perfect as I can make it. Let's just say that. And anytime you replicate these masks or sculptures, and you're trying to replicate it uh, identical to something that's already been done, it's really difficult to do with the limited pictures that we have. And I've said this many times on my channel. Um, we don't have every angle to be able to see exactly how things are made, but it is very, very, very close. I have no doubt that I'm very close on this thing. The profile, like if I turn this sculpture, let me turn it. I'm trying to show it to you just like it is on that screen. See how the slant of the eye cuts are? They're right on the money. I've seen a lot of profiles look bad with these masks. Um, the profiles don't line up. Nothing works. It is like very flat. The faces look flat. I've seen that before where the profile didn't look right. Look great straight on. But as soon as you turn that mask, it looks wrong. The profile looks wrong. But this profile looks like it's on the money. Um, oh yeah. All right. How many people? Oh God, we got 14 people on here. Yeah, so we're really on the money with this thing. I'm ready for silicone tomorrow. Siliconing is going to happen tomorrow. Um, oh yeah, flashback. FB78 by Custom Corpses. That's what it's going to be out. It's going to be a $450 mask. You guys want one of these? Better get your order in as soon as I get it. I won't allow anybody to order this thing or prepay or any of that stuff until I have uh, until I have it molded and everything's ready to go. Then I'll order it to go. Order to go. First come, first serve. It will be $450 plus tax. Hopefully, if you're in the States, it'll be free shipping. If you're out of the States, you'll have to pay for shipping. And just to give you an idea, I'm in Jersey, New Jersey, in the United States, and you can find out, my zip code is 08210. So if you want to find out what it's going to cost you to have it shipped to your location, say out of the country, out of the United States, and I'll leave that up to you, or I'll look into it, whichever. But yeah, this mask is going to be $450, and I can't wait to get this thing on the molded and ready for It's going to be really nice. It's going to be a nice mask to own. The lighting makes it look very bright, from what you can see here. Um, so a lot of the shadows get washed out in the direct light like that. But you want it subtle because you want the lighting to play a part in whenever you're walking around in this mask. You want to make sure that you're going under maybe a street light or something where people can see you, and it brings on the natural shadows of the mask. But I have a paint scheme that I plan on stealing. I'm going to use, just by the look of it. I really like it. So I'm going to go with that paint scheme when I paint this sucker. And hair it. I got my hair, by the way, Pipe Master, if you're still there, and Takeoff Vision. I ordered my hair. I got more of the hair that I use on my masks, on my sculptures. I plan on using nothing but this stuff. It's got the gray fibers in it. It's got all kinds of goodies. It's got a really nice color to it. Here, I'll show it to you in the. Let me see. Fibers. And it's thick. It's a thick hair, but it's real soft. Real soft. So, I got to get this guy molded. Hopefully, I have enough silicone to do both. I think I do. So, I think I'm going to jump off of here. I told you, I just wanted to show you guys. Wanted to get this thing really dead on, especially the glue lines. That's important. You know, the flashback has to be right. All right, guys, peace, and I will see you on the next video. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will do the siliconing. I think I'm going to record the silicone job. I'll record it because I don't want to be yapping. I got to concentrate with that. You only have 60 minutes. I'm not going to do that live. I'll record it and then I'll upload it. It's just too nerve-wracking when you're dealing with the silicone. The silicone's very expensive. Right? I spent about $600 going up there and buying all that silicone and everything I need to make the master copy. But when it's done, we make a clay master, hollow clay master, touch it up, and then we start making masks, and then I have to make a stone master. And then I shrink it down to the 24-inch. Yeah, this is going to be really awesome. And then my plan is to make a 2018 from the sculpt, and a kills, and an ends from this sculpt. And that should be fun. Yeah, the sculpture looks a lot like the 2018. The jaw lines are different. The jaw line sticks out further on the 2018. But once this is made, it doesn't. Once I have it siliconed and I have a hard copy of it, it doesn't matter. I can bump the jaw out just a little bit further on this to make it look just like the 2018. I'm going to make it look as close to as I can. It'll be fun, guys. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have this finally finished. I'm really surprised that it only took me a month. No need to spray paint the hair. The hair looks perfect. It's got the perfect color. I mean, if you ask for spray paint, if you want me to, I don't use spray paint. First of all, I use ink. It's a dye. It's an ink that will go into the hair. It won't come out. You won't have to worry about the stuff coming off on your. The ink is an alcohol-based ink, and I spray it. I'll spray the black in there if you want me to do the black into the hair. That's up to you guys. It's not that big of a deal, with or without it. But that's the plan. I didn't plan on spraying the hair, but if you guys want one, because you're going to be ordering this. So when you order it, you tell me what you want. You tell me how you want it. The paint scheme pretty much has to stay the same, the way I'm going to do it. But and it's going to give you that real screen accurate look. That's what I'm hoping. can't go by this picture over here either. That looks almost like greenish yellow. That's not the true color of this thing, not at all. Anyway, let me jump off of here, guys. There's 10 of you. I hate to leave you as 10, but hit the 10 likes. You guys keep on hitting those like buttons for me because they love it. YouTube loves it. So I appreciate you guys being on and going through this process with me. But we are at the finish line with the FB78 by Custom Corpses. Now we just have to make the molds. And when the molds are done, we're not too far away from having masks made. So we can go darker, but that hair is pretty dark as it is right here. It doesn't look very dark when it's, but it's pretty dark. I'll tell you, it's just as dark as the stuff that's on the ends mask. It's just as dark as that, but it still looks brown. It's not black. Now, if you want it painted black, that's up to you. But then you lose those natural colors, the natural fibers that are in the that. But when you screen accurate, I guess you would have to spray paint it black, lightly. I can't wait either, Pipe Master. You already know what the paint scheme's going to be, so you know what I'm going to go with. But I'm not airbrushing. That's the thing. I'm not airbrushing. I may airbrush the base coat, which would be the white coat, and then I'll do everything else with washes. Not so much wash. Yeah, it has to be washes because the colors and the chalk I'll be using charcoal for the shadowing. But the got to be real. Got to sneak that charcoal in really careful. Yeah, so that's going to be the colors. I think this mask is going to be really, really. What do they call it? Fire. Everybody has that. They call everything they call it fire now. I guess this is going to be a good mask. I think you'll be lucky if you own one. Because I'm only one man show, man. I can only keep a flag. It's like NAG. NAG, apparently they have like a 12-month to a little over a year and a half waiting list to get their mask, which is, their mask is nice. It's a good mask. But I'm a rookie when it comes to this, so making the mask is not going to be that difficult. Once the molds are done, the sculpture is always the hardest part. Sculpting is where all the work's done. I spent a month sculpting this guy. Once I put the new clay on the armature, I had to take off the old sculpture because the clay wasn't sticking. The new clay, I couldn't get the new clay to stick onto the old clay, so I literally just took all the clay right off this armature and then started from scratch. And I was surprised because if you look at the video, it goes back, well, that was a week ago when I looked at it. So a week ago, it was 1 month. It took me 1 month to sculpt this guy. So I'm going to say 5 weeks to get this guy from start to finish. No, it wasn't rushed. I spent a lot of time on it because I'm off. I have time. So I had time to really sit down and work on it. I didn't when I work in the wintertime, I really don't have a ton of time. So, I can spend a couple days on it. And I'm not saying days, I'm saying I could spend a couple hours a couple times a week on it. That's it. And that's what took so long with the other sculptures. It was I was limited to how long I can actually work on it. So this time around, I took advantage of my time off this summer and focused on getting this flashback finished. Pipe Master, I think this thing's going to be sweet. It's going to be a sweet mask. I really do. I think we got ourselves a home run here. So now I just got to hope Christopher Nelson doesn't come after me. I hope not. I'm not going to be selling thousands of these masks. We're talking about maybe 20 to 30 masks in a year, and this is only to push. Hopefully he produces his mask. Hopefully he comes out with it, and makes, sells it. That would be awesome. I really wish he would put it out there for everybody, just like these other ones are out. Put that out too. Why not? You're never going to get better than the original, that's for sure. I mean, the original sculptor. Nick, his mask is, man, it's unbelievable. It's such a hard sculpture to do. It really is, man. The slightest little bit this way or slightest little bit that way, and man, it changes the whole look. And you have to remember, if it looks great just looking at you straight on, that doesn't mean it's going to look great from a profile. So every time you make a little move here or there, you have to change it all the way around. The whole profile, everything has to be, altered just a little bit. Yeah, I didn't rush with this, not at all. I didn't rush. I got frustrated. Oh boy, did I get some frustration. But the funny thing is with the eyebrows, it wasn't until I couldn't figure out what was bothering me about the eyebrows, and it had nothing to do with the eyebrows. Uh, the scowl going into the bridge of the nose, the angle was wrong, and that's why I couldn't get the eyebrows to look right. And then once I figured out what it was that was bothering me, bang, it was like a light went off, and I went, oh shit, this is what's wrong. And it's where the scowl goes into the top of the nose, and the pitch, where that pitch goes into the scowl, like the scowl, that pitch going into the nose was off compared to where the eyebrows needed to be. So I had to fix that scowl line going into the nose on both sides. And then all of a sudden, guess what? The eyebrows looked right. I was like, damn. Then there was way too much shadowing going in. I had a problem with that going into the nose. Yeah, it's just it can be really frustrating. The key is being able to see it and work through it. You have to be able to see it, and sometimes you have to walk away. So my best advice to any of you guys out there that are sculpting, and you're new, or even if you've been doing it a long time and you're trying to tackle this for the first time, Michael Myers, do some work, study the pictures, do some more work, study the pictures, and always smooth it out as you're going along, because that smoothing out process is what really shows you where you're at. You see how you can't really see any shine on that now? That's because it's textured and it looks, it's what it needs to be. And now it reveals any kind of like hard lines anywhere or anything that's wrong. It points it out real quick. It reveals it. So remember that when you're texturing. I don't know say, but the true masterpiece is definitely Christopher Nelson's Flashback. That's a masterpiece. If I can get close to that, that's second place all the way, right? Let's call it that. There's nothing beating that Flashback on its own merit. Christopher Nelson, hats off to him, man, because when he created that, he must have really worked hard to get it right. And he said it was the hardest mask that he ever worked on. And I'll tell you, man, I didn't think it was that hard until I jumped into it. I'm pumped. I can't wait to get this out on the market. Start selling this. we'll know how much of a masterpiece this really is on how many people actually purchase it. You know, and I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you guys when I sell the mask, I'll let you know. I don't really care. I'm not about money. I'm really not. I'm about putting out a really, really nice product and the best of my ability. And you know, to me, that rubs my ego more than selling and making money. And I love to make money. Who doesn't? But, somebody that's, when you got real collectors coming after your work, that have been collecting for a long time, and they say, man, I don't care. And it's not about how much they say, at any price. That one guy sent me a text, and he's like, I don't care what the price is. I want one of these masks, the Flashback that I just finished. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I'm not that guy. Once I figured out how much it need to charge for this thing, and I figured if NAG is charging $450 for theirs, I think this looks just as good. But it has to be painted yet. That's the scary part. I'm still not done yet here because I still have to, hair one and paint one and make it look as good as I can. Once that's done and we're really happy with it, with the paint scheme and everything, then the true test will be, okay, who's buying and who isn't. And I'm really aiming for collectors because the collectors, they know what they're used to it. They know what it charges. But I'm not trying to put it on eBay and get $3,000 for it or anything. I'm not doing that. Test marketing, it's great. At first I was like, yeah, all about that. But now I'm kind of like, second thought, as long as you know your product is good and you've really put something out there that's really close to what it should be, it's worth every penny of $450. And it doesn't break your piggy bank. And I make money. And I'm not making a ton of money, but I'm making money. And, products are going up and up. Everything's costing a fortune. I've shared that with you guys, but the Ultra Cal 30 is really expensive now. Latex has gone from $145 to $200, and the good latex is like $300 to $350. I can't afford good latex yet. I really would love to do this, but you guys, somewhere down the road, when I start making better, when I can afford the good latex, you guys will be following me on the channel, and I'll let you guys know when I have the good latex. And then if it's going to be a replacement of the mask that I gave you, the only thing I'll probably ask of you guys to do is pay for the materials. That's all. Of what it actually costs to actually reproduce the mask. For all you guys that got the free mask, that's who I'm talking to. So the latex, there's better quality latex. You get it at Monster Makers. I forget the name of the stuff, but it's like $350 for 5 gallons. It's a lot of money. And you only get about 20 masks out of a 5-gallon jug. So... yeah, so, with the $200, the cheaper latex is $200. And I think the difference is, it was explained to me, there's more additives to the cheaper latex. There's more ammonia and more water in it versus, now the stuff that I get from Bitty Mold, that's a really thick latex. You can smell the ammonia, but it's still a very thick latex. So I was really impressed with their latex. The quality is not bad at all. I think when I was making you see these jugs that are up here on the shelf? That's all 3-part mix of mask latex, house paint, like, wall paint, latex wall paint from like Home Depot. And the paint already had the pigment in it for the color. So, and then distilled water. But what I don't like about that paint is it feels very dry. It doesn't feel right. And I think it's because of the house latex paint. I don't want to use that house latex. Nope, I won't use that. So if I'm in a pinch, I would use regular pure latex, mask latex, and then throw some acrylic in it, just acrylic paint to give you the perfect colors. Yeah, that's how you do it. So anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. I've been on here for a while, guys. I thank everybody. Yeah, I'm going to get the Pipe Master. I'm going after, I know exactly the colors that I'm after. I'm probably going to get some of the rotten browns. I got to get some of the browns, some of the yellows, and some of the greens. I might get all shades in all three of those, groups. I have to get the white and I have to get the black. Um, White, black. Now the white paint, I plan on using acrylic because they don't sell cobalt blue to make my. I have to make my own uh, fish belly white. That's how the original mask was painted, was fish belly white. It's funny, I saw Christopher Nelson say something about it. So he knew too that it was fish belly white. Uh, his looked a little bit more yellow. Actually, no, it didn't. If you look at the scenes when he was in the Myers house in the flashback, you could see that. Yes, I'm going to be sealing the mask. That'll definitely have a sealant on it. The mask will be sealed. Yeah, I'm going to tone it down. It's just the lighting. I keep trying to tell you guys the lighting is it's really casting a hard shadow on that. If I move that lighting out further, you don't see that ring too good. It's really not sticking out that far. It's really subtle. It just looks really dominant. It's because I've got down lighting on this. I literally have the light going straight down the neck. So it's casting a shadow. I showed that on the last video too. But I will, I I might take it down just a little bit more. I just don't want to overdo it because it is on the actual flashback mask, that ring that goes around that hole. That outer ring definitely is on that hole. Now I punched a shallow hole in the neck because that gets cut out. The hole will get cut out from the inside of the mask. But then again, I could leave it whole. I could leave it just. It'll be your choice. We can either cut it out or leave it, solid. So, see, the thing is, when you cut into a mask, that's why I don't cut the lips out. I never cut the lips out. It just gives it more areas where it can deteriorate. It's bad enough you got to do it in the ears and the nose and the eye cuts. But any extra holes that you put in the mask becomes a deterioration spot. That's where it starts to deteriorate fast, usually right into any of the cut spots. That's why if you look at the original 78 mask, the condition that it's in now, where you see the deterioration more than anywhere else is the mouth, the eyes. I'm not sure about the ears, but I think even the neck wound that opened up too, where the needle that opened up. So maybe we leave it solid, and we just put the paint in there, so it looks like it's. But I'm not going to punch it through. I don't think I'm going to leave it solid. Believe me, I'm going to get the paints. Biggest thing I'm working on right now, focusing on, is getting the Pipe Master. I also want to get that website again from you, where you found those paints. I think it's on my message. I think it's when you sent it to me. I just have to scroll up to see where it was, and then put it on my computer, and then buy the paints from that source that you found. Because a lot of their stuff's back ordered. So we've got ourselves a really nice flashback, I think. Flashback 78. FB 78 by Custom Corpses. Oh yeah, the glue line's there. You can't see it. Very subtle, but it's there. The light's hitting directly on it. You don't want the glue lines real, protruding on the sculpture, because it is supposed to be glue. It's not supposed to be, you know, sideburns carved into it. Right on top of that. And then put a little bit of hair right on top of the glue. Just hair fibers. That's it. But that keeps you from making different following different guidelines. Is there one thing I don't like about the flashback mask? No, I've learned to respect it. And I don't think there's anything that I dislike about it now, because I just spent a month busting my ass trying to perfect this thing, and it wasn't easy, man. It is not an easy sculpture. And the reason why it's not easy is because everything is so subtle. The subtlety in this is so important when you're sculpting this. Can't look like a carved clay face sculpture. It has to look very, very human-like, very, just how your face is shaped. Very difficult. How about the hair? Is it off? You mean the hairline? No, the hairline's pretty much on. You also have to remember the hairline, the hair comes up over top of that hairline, so you never see that hairline. I don't put it right to the edge of the hairline. I put it a little bit past the hairline, just a touch past the hairline, so you don't see the hairline. The hairline's just for my guidance. When I go to put the hair on there, I'm not, running out, or, because all you got to do is take your eye off the ball. Like, you're working from one side to the other. It's very easy to lose that hairline guide, to get it accurate on every time, especially when you start moving quick. You want to get done fast. Believe me, I'm not going to want to spend a lot of time on hairing, painting. I want to get these done pretty quick, as fast as possible anyway, and still look good. I won't work fast just to get it done fast. That's not going to be the key here. Every mask has to look just as good as the other. It really does. It's important to me. And I think I have a really good paint scheme to do it. So. The hairstyle on the flashback, I'm not crazy about. I mean, I would love to do the real hairstyle, like the one that's on there. It's a little high. I have to put an extra row of hair on the bottom of that neck. But I really like the authentic hairstyle. Let me show you. Now here's the. You guys want one of these, you mask makers out there, if you want one of these from me, I can make you a hydrocal or ultracal copy of that. Now, let me turn that so when I'm sitting in the chair, it looking dead on. All right. See, I like that hairstyle best. I like that hairstyle best, but I'm not sure that would look good on this mask. I think you have to stick with what, the authentic, the authentic you want it to look like the Flashback, the way he haired it. Because if you hair it differently, um, unless it depends on the person buying the mask. If they want the hair styled that way, we can do it that way. If you want it styled the way it is on the Flashback, we can do it that way. But the worst part about that is if you start farting around with something like that and you get this mask and you don't like it with this hairstyle, like say you decide you want that hairstyle, well, it doesn't look right that good with that hairstyle. It may or may not look good with that hairstyle. But if it doesn't, and you buy the mask, now you're going to have to send it off to either me or somebody else to rehair it to fix it if you don't like it. Um, yeah, I think so too. He made them very thick, but it's his mask. It's that version of that mask. You have to realize. Yes, he was trying to make it perfect, but he also said that he wanted the mask not to be altered too badly because he wanted to still look like the 2018. He still wanted to look, he wanted that mask, that Flashback, to still uh, look at, he wanted the 2018 to look like an aged Flashback. And that's the thing. And when he sculpted the Flashback, the 2018 was already done. So he had to literally go back and look at the features on the 2018 uh, and based his sculpture off of that from the head shape to the scowl to the lip line. Well, I think the jawline's different. The jawline looks more like the actual 78 mask. That looks very close to the 78 mask. Well, the screen used mask. We can make the like do the hairstyle the way the Flashback is, and then just do thinner horns and more horns. I'm a fan of putting a lot of horns in there, not just a little bit, to give it that really worn look, like it's used, it's been messed around with, it's all screwed up, the hair's all tangledy looking in the back. The horns have to be, plentiful, not just a few. So I'm looking forward to this thing, man. I can't wait till this is done. This thing's going to look really good, I think. I hope. So, but I'm going to bounce off of here, guys, because I'm going to go for a swim. I got a pool out back that's dying for me to come dive into it. Two less horns, takeoff vision. He made like there weren't as many horns. That's probably what you mean. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm just happy that I was able to make this sculpture pretty accurate. I think it's pretty accurate. It's as good as anybody else's, that's for sure. Um, Now, I'm not comparing it to the original Flashback. Believe me, I wish I could replicate that to a perfect T. And I think it's impossible without having that mask literally right in front of you on the desk. Because they're not giving you good pictures. They're not giving you good pictures of this thing. They're making sure that you don't see. Silent beyond the dead. Yeah, take off vision. You're right. The hair wasn't right. You tell me, guys, when you order one of these masks or whatever your mask, you guys that are getting these free masks, because you've been helping me out throughout this whole adventure. Um, what style do you want? How do you want it styled? That's the question. How do you want it done? You have to think about this now because once I hair it, Well, here's one thing about I can say about the hairing is I don't put glue in the hair. I only use hairspray. See, there's the hairspray right there. I only use hairspray because hairspray, if you guys don't like the style of the hair, change it. Just change the hair, mess it up, comb it through, whatever you got to do, um, and change the hair. You can change it yourself. I'll freeze it in place with just hairspray. I won't do glue. There's people that put glue and stuff like that into the hair. I won't do that. I think it takes away the ability of the owner of the mask to really style it the way he wants to style it. Now, if you're really bad at hairstyling, maybe it's not something you should do. But if you really, take your time and really, you can style a hair again the way you want it. Plus, you got shipping. Whenever something's being shipped like this, now the way I'm going to ship this is going to be in a 12 by 12 inch square box. And I'm going to stuff the mask so it can't get crushed. I'm going to also, but there will be plastic on the outside of the hair as well on the head. So it don't get, if it gets like the box gets punctured or something, you want some kind of protective layer from that paint and that latex from getting ripped or torn or, scratched. So you have to put the plastic on the outside, the inside. You want to really foam. You want that mask to be firm and wrapped well and protected. And you guys tell me, what do you think of me giving away, like, instead of like, I see guys like put like stickers. Eventually I'm going to get stickers, but when I ship this mask out to you, I was thinking about getting like candies or something, like Halloween candy or something, and put them in with the mask. It's kind of like a little thank you thing. I need to get stuff made. I need to get stickers made. I need to get custom corpses, custom corpses, whatever. I need paraphernalia, but I want stuff that you're not going to just take out of the box and throw it in the trash. So I'm trying to think it through, like what would be really cool, if it's snacks, if it's like a snack food, especially if you're from overseas and you can't get like cool snacks that are not available, say in Germany or something, that are American snacks in Germany or anywhere, and you're ordering a mask, and I can send you a snack that you've never had, that you've been always wanted to try. I was thinking about doing something like that. A payday bar, huh? So that's something you'd never take off vision. You're in Germany, right? That's right. You're in Germany. So you want a payday bar? Not a problem. That can be arranged. I'll send you a box of them, maybe a couple of them. Give you a couple of them in there. Candy corn. Trust me, you don't want candy corn. I'll throw some in there just so you can taste it. But it's not like something we love here in the States. A lot of us don't like it at all. You know what it is? The food coloring that's in it. You can taste the food coloring. It just doesn't taste right. Waxy, very waxy. Love sour candy. Sour apples, and we can do the apple thing, sour candy. I'm just going to throw like a handful of all kinds of crazy shit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw candy in a box and right in with the mask. Only I want to make sure that the mask doesn't touch the candy ever. That would suck, candy all over the mask. No, well, the mask is going to be wrapped. So it's totally on its own. It'll be by itself, so you can't, nothing will touch that. You love sour candy. Payday bar. Well, see, the problem is now when you start dealing with chocolate, and I send this mask off to you, and especially Germany, if it goes anywhere where it's warm, and then the payday bar melts. Well, you'll be able to taste it, but it'll just be in different form. So think about that too. I mean, none of these masks are going to go out until probably September. So, yeah. I'm looking at September before they start going out to people. Wouldn't that be cool? I think the candy thing's really a good idea. You're in Daytona, yeah. You definitely don't want candy in a box. Um, so we got to think of something for people that are in warm weather conditions. What can go into? I know it can go in there. It can't be anything that melts. So I'm thinking something that actually can be frozen. You know, um, pops that you can freeze, something that you can freeze. Put it when you get it. Put it in your freezer and freeze it up and eat it. I don't know. I have to figure it out, man. That's the tough part. Some of you guys won't get this on Halloween. Not unless I sell a lot of masks. So help me push these masks. So the faster I can sell a few of these, the faster you guys will get your masks. The ones that got the giveaways. I need to sell a few. I really do. I need to sell a few of these um, because I got to replace some of them. It's really the money that you're shelling out for sending out a free mask between the hair, the paint, the latex. So you sell a few masks, and I can replenish my latex. I can replenish the stuff that I need. It's not a problem. Then it's boom. I just buy what I need to keep making the masks. And during this winter, I'm going to start sculpting the 2018 out of this bad boy. Um, and I'm going to do the same thing with my night creeper. I probably have the night creeper and this side by side. They won't be on the armature. There'll be hollow castings, and I'll be able to sculpt them down the way I want them and age them. And then I'll do a silicone master of those. It's going to be cool, man. I can't wait to get this into full swing and really make these masks and make them really nice. I think you guys are going to love these masks when you get it. I think it's going to be a really nice mask to own. Flashback, here we come. All right, guys, I'm definitely going to say goodnight. I have to get off of here. Um, the payback bar, that's the only time you only had it one time and you loved it. So maybe I'll send you a few payback bars. Really, I'd have to check that out. Asylum, where they took a '78 mask original and then put it on the flashback. It's going to be up to you when you guys get your mask. Like when I say, okay, even you guys that are getting the free mask, I'm going to tell you, okay, I'm starting to work on your mask. What do you want? And when I tell you that, um, you know, you're going to have to let me know what you want as far as hairstyle. Paint scheme's going to be the same because I am not going to play around with like, oh, I want a little of this, I want a little of that. You might want it like I'll let you say, okay, I want it aged more or I want it more white. You want it to be natural features, or do you want like the dark, the darkened cheeks and that stuff. Um, Now remember, the aging process to this is not going to. It's going to be very subtle. It's not going to be real dominant. So I'll send you pictures of what I'm actually going to use, to paint it. Actually, I'm going to get one done. When I get one done, then you guys will see it. And maybe I'll have to make my own and keep it here for reference at all times. I'll have to make one what's the prototype and leave it here for reference for every time I paint the thing. Every time every one of them is going to look almost identical. Almost identical. I don't think you can ever make anything identical. No, I have an asylum. There's a Myers verse trailer. I haven't seen it. Send me the link. Yeah, okay. So chocolate bars are out. I wonder, maybe food isn't a good idea. I don't know. I don't know whether maybe food I'm not allowed to either. I don't know. Um, but candy be cool. Potato chips, pretzels. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I have to think about it. Either that or I might have to get the stickers. Might have to get stickers and maybe some fake leaves and stuff it into the box and little decorations or something. You know, maybe I'll make some sculpted little zombie heads or something. You know, make hard candy out of them or something. That would be pretty cool. Make a hard candy zombie head. Got to sculpt it first. Sculpt some candies. That's what I should do. I should sculpt some candies and get us some and make it with some silicone, food safe silicone molds, and I can sculpt some candies out of clay, and then use a food safe silicone over the clay, and then clean out the mold and make some candies. That'd be cool. Fake leaves. Yeah, I gotta find some fake leaves that are good, that are nice, that are cool. You can use them for your prop inside of whatever you're putting it in for your case to display it. Um, or see, I'm also up here. You see these pumpkins up here? I'm making one pumpkin with the flashback. Maybe I'll look up the flashback. No, that's supposed to be the Halloween pumpkin. So you go with the original Halloween pumpkin. Asylum case mask is yours. We gotta figure out the shipping and everything. Send it to you. You know what the shipping's gonna be. It's about $70 to get it out to you. $70. I'm not charging you anything for it at all. Just you pay for the shipping, and it's because it's one of my original sculptures, and I have that. I have that mask over here, sun behind me, somewhere around there. That's the sign. That's the only mask I'm going to keep. The mask in the case is looking good. It's right there. I just got to get it out of there. I've been lazy. I have to unbury it. I got all kinds of stereo equipment sitting on top of it. I got to take it out of there, and I got to take the case off and then pull the mask out of there. We have to figure out a way to pay me the $70 to send it out to you. I forget what it is. 77. Is it $77? I forget exactly how much. I figured out what it was going to cost to go to you in Germany. based it on 4 pounds. That's what I based it on. I think the mask is like in the box. The box and everything was 3 pounds. 3 pounds and change. So I had them base it off 4 pounds. So if there's any added stuff that you want to throw into that mix, then I can throw it in there and it doesn't overshoot. Give you an idea of how much it costs to ship it out to you. But we're looking at probably between $70 and $77. I forget exactly what it was. Anyway, oh man, I'm starving, guys. I haven't eaten yet, and I'm freaking hungry. It was 77. Okay. So when you have your $77, and I'll give you a way to pay me. I got to figure out a way to do. I don't have anything set up yet. My son's coming here, and he's going to help me set up something to where I can get paid. I don't like using PayPal now that I think about it, because PayPal they're charging an extra tax. You know, if tax is, it's like 50. What we figured out it was 5.9%. Well, sales tax is 6%. So what they're basically charging you is 27 times 2. So if my sales tax is $27 and it's another $27 for the PayPal tax, and then there's the $77 to pay for the shipping, you know, on top of, like, you know, well, you're getting a free mask, so it's not matter. But people that are buying a mask from me for $4.50, there's all that added cost. Now I'm trying to keep it stateside, free shipping. You know, depending on how much the shipping costs me. You know, if it's a couple bucks, I don't care. They start charging you $50 or something, then I'm not going to be able. That won't be an option. You know, I'll have to charge for the shipping. You know, NAG mask, they're in Greece, so they have a different set of rules. They don't have a tag. I don't even know what they have over there, so I don't even want to guess. But yeah, I have to. That's the hard part, figuring out how much do I have to charge to make sure that I still make my $4.50. I need to clear $4.50. I really want to clear $4.50. I don't mind if it's $4.48 or $4.45 or something like that. I don't mind that, but I don't want to get into this thing where $50 it cost me. You know, now I'm making $400 on the mask. No, I want to make $4.50 on the mask. That's for sure. Anyway, I've got to jump off of here, guys. I've got to get something to eat, man. My diabetes is starting to say crashing a little bit, so I need food. I need food. All right, peace. Thank you guys for being on here. I mean, we had a lot of people on here and checking this out. I'm wondering who exactly was on here. I mean, there was a lot of people. I think there was up to like 30 people at one point. There was a lot of people. It's crazy. So I wonder who's keeping an eye on this. There must be some people looking at me now. So I guess this flashback is pretty hot item. Anyway, guys, thank you again for being on with me and sticking with me and hanging out. And hit the like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and watch the process. Now, when I do the silicone, like I said, I'm going to pre-record it and then upload it, because I don't want to do a lot of chatting. I can, but I don't want to answer questions. I can't be reading the text and stuff. I can't do that. That's why I'm going to do. And you guys can put your comments and everything on the video when it's uploaded. But I just think it's a wiser thing to do when you're dealing with the silicone, because I can't afford to be pausing and taking breaks and reading comments and stuff like that. The clay, that won't hurt. That's not gonna go anywhere. But if I start messing around with silicone, you're on a time. You got probably about half hour of working time, even less, to really do that silicone. So I got to be really careful. All right, peace, guys. Have a good night. See you on the next video in the next day or two. I might. Well, like I said, I'm going to do the siliconing and then I'm upload that video. That won't be live. I'll do live some other way. All right. Peace. Thanks. See ya.